Hey y'all, it's Amanda with Tap Mom and the Bake Brigade. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody's having a good Thursday. Sorry, I had to think about it for a minute. Forgive me, I didn't do a video yesterday because Johnny and I were cleaning house and time got away from me, and then I was exhausted and I kind of overdid it. And my back's hurting me a little bit today, but I'm pushing through. We had to do grocery shopping today, and so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. Well, about something that, anyway, I'll talk to y'all. But I have made a little progress on Llama Mama Kayla's cardigan. I decided not to do a hexi cardigan this time, a hexagon cardigan. I decided to design as I go. So we are flying by the seat of our pants as usual around here. So I'm going to do panels. I'm going to do 3 panels. I'm doing the back panel and two lapel panels, and then I'll sew on the sleeves. So, or crochet on the sleeves. You know what I mean. I'll crochet on the sleeves. But this is what I have. See, the bestie's kind of messing with my plan by telling me that vertical looks better than horizontal. So, but I have a shirt around here that's big and that I'm using as my guide for sizing. That is about what the size that she usually wears. So that's what I'm using as my guide. And she's taller than me. She's like 5'7", 5'8", something like that. So I'm making it, I'm using, I'm sort of using my length, but I'm using what would be too long for me, that it should be just about right for her. So I'll put it that way. She probably likes it a little bit long anyway. But by the time I get ribbing and everything on it, it'll be like where it needs to be. But this is what we got so far. This is the pale pink. This is the party yarn in the color candy, and then I've done some rows of the turquoise. So next I'm going to add another row of the party yarn, another section of the party yarn, and then once I do that, I'll do another actual regular color, solid color. So what we're probably going to do is, this is probably going to be the back panel, and I'll do this until I get it wide enough, and then I'll do 2 front panels. But I'm thinking the vertical's probably going to be the way to go. And I've written my stitch count down, so I know where I'm at with stitches. So I'll make the panels all the same length. That way, But this is, this should be long enough, and then I'll put some ribbing along the bottom. And but this is this is a stitch by Bag O' Day. It's called the prairie stitch. So basically you got one row of single crochet, and then the next row you're doing 2 half doubles in a stitch, skip a stitch, 2 half doubles, skip a stitch, 2 half doubles. So that's, if you can see it there. Makes a very lovely stitch. It should make it, a very nice fabric. But I'm using a 6mm. Now most of this yarn recommends a 5.5. I'm using a 6mm clover hook here, and it's working out just fine. This will give a nice, you can see that's really nice. So it should be fine. But I just finished these turquoise rows, and I'm about to add back in the party yarn. And so I got that down here in my little box. I'm just using this little plastic box. This little plastic box. Got all my yarn in here. And so I'm going to do about the same amount of rows that I did here. I'll do that next. And then I'll add either the hot pink or the purple next. And then, then I'm just switching back and forth until I get it wide enough. And then I'll move on to the other panels. But this won't take me any longer to do it this way than if I was doing the hexagon cardigan. It's not going to take me any longer to do it this way than that. But I am designing on the fly, so we're going to see how this one goes and see if this is something new that I start doing. Or, now I don't know about it. Please don't badger me about a tutorial, because I suck at tutorials. I really do. I don't mind breaking down to you what I did and how, and my methods. But as far as tutorials and patterns, please do not pester me for that, because that puts a lot of stress and anxiety on me that I just won't tolerate. So please don't pester me for that. I do things extremely simple, and I describe them in detail when as I do them, that anyone that pays attention to the way I'm describing it to you could write it down and figure it out. I don't say these things to be ugly, but you're not in these shoes and you don't know what it takes to do tutorials and put them together and try to stay in frame the whole time and try to crochet over a table, and it's a lot. And I don't think that anyone appreciates how difficult that is until you've done it. When I did my Rising Phoenix top, I got some criticisms that I was not in frame the whole time, and I did my best with that tutorial. I really did, and but it was very stressful for me, and I decided I would not do another one for a while because it was so stressful. Now this stitch, I will attach the video tutorial for Crystal's video tutorial for this stitch. I will put that in the description box so that y'all can go check out her tutorial for this stitch. It's an easy stitch. Anyone can do this stitch. It's really super simple. Y'all know I don't do anything terribly complicated because I didn't get into crochet to be stressed out. So therefore I will describe to y'all my process as I go, and if you want to take notes and make one yourself, great. Nothing here that I'm doing here is copyrighted, or that I'm not going to be upset if anybody copies me or whatever. I'm be flattered if you made something I made. That'd be fantastic. I know there's been a few folks that made my Rising Phoenix top, and I've been overjoyed by that. So but this is just a very basic concept that I have in my head that I'm going to be doing. There are many tutorials out that do similar concepts as this. I know Crystal over at Bag O' Day probably has cardigans of simple construction like I'm doing, that that you can probably go find. So I've watched a lot of tutorials since I started crocheting, and I couldn't tell you where I get I can't pinpoint exactly where I get all my ideas, because I've watched so many different tutorials, and I just file the knowledge back, and then when I need inspiration, or if I need to remember how to do something, I go look in my saved playlist of tutorials and go, oh yeah, and then I watch it for a few minutes, and then I'm like, oh, I got it, and then I go back to doing what I was doing. But to pinpoint one particular tutorial as being the one that I learned everything from, there's not any one tutorial that I learned things from. It's just just a collection of them that I just get bits and pieces from each one and incorporate it into my experience and my skill set, so to speak. Just like y'all, y'all can't pinpoint where you learned any one particular trick from, because you watch so many different tutorials. You've learned so many tricks from patterns and books and what have you. You just learn things. You pick things up, and I don't think we should all be expected to remember where you picked it up from. I think that's expecting too much out of people. But yeah, I don't expect a tutorial for this. This is just me flying by the seat of my pants and trying to create something one of a kind. I may, I'm writing notes as I go, so that if someone wants me to recreate this for them and buy one from me, then I can definitely do that. But as far as a tutorial, no, I'm not going to do that, because this is going to be a very simple construction that's been done over and over again in other people's tutorials. So there's really no need for me to do one on something that other people have done over and over again. So please don't be mad at me about that, okay? Anyway, I'm going to grab this yarn and just attach this next color here, and then I'll sit back and crochet and talk to y'all about my day. This should have been a Monday instead of a Thursday, because it seemed like the world was kind of out for me today. Just a little bit out for me. Me and Johnny we get these these spending cards from our Medicare Advantage program that help us buy groceries. I know some of y'all might get those too. I hope some of y'all get those, because it's a godsend. It's a blessing to get them. It really is. We wouldn't, it'd be a lot harder on us if we didn't have them. I mean, we would make it, but it would be, we probably wouldn't eat as well as we do if we didn't have that. He gets so much on his little card, and then I get so much on mine. And it doesn't just buy food. It buys household goods, detergent, dog food, paper towels, toilet tissue, things like that. So it's very nice to have those. And the good part about this particular stitch that I'm using is it works up super fast. Like, I just started on this yesterday, and I can whip through this pretty quick. That's why I said this is not going to take me any longer to make it this way than doing the something that I've done many times, which is a hexagon cardigan. I've made many of those, probably 20 or so by now, but I can do one almost in my sleep. But because I'm keeping this very simple, it shouldn't take me any longer to do this one than it would to do a hexagon cardigan. But we went grocery shopping, and I know some of y'all are kind of new to my channel, but I have a 25-year-old high-functioning autistic son named John, affectionately called Johnny, or JJ. Sometimes he's called JJ, which is short for John John. The ladies in the daycare when he was little nicknamed him John John, and then I shortened it to JJ, and it just stuck. Well, JJ, Johnny, is about 6 foot tall, built like a linebacker. Okay, he's very soft-spoken. Not that he has a deep voice, but he doesn't talk a lot. And when he talks, he's very tentative about it. He's very considerate and respectful when he talks. And, well, he helps me redo the grocery shopping together, because he does do a lot of the cooking. He likes to do the cooking. And a lot of times he cooks things that I may not be up to eating. So that's why he gets to pick what is chosen for grocery shopping. And we go through a lot of this flavored water that Walmart sells. This strawberry water. They have strawberry water. They have mandarin. What is it? Mango mandarin or something like that. That Will likes. My oldest son, that's 31, still lives here. So they have all these different flavored waters. I like the strawberry. Johnny likes the cherry limeade one, and the blackberry lemonade one too that they have. They're about 78 cents a bottle, and you get about a 1 liter bottle. And so we buy a lot. And so we've noticed that a lot of the cashiers prefer us to just put one of each bottle on the belt, and then tell them how many we have of each one, so that you don't have to put them all on the belt when you go to the register. Well, John, we were in at a register, and John was trying to count how many of each one he had after he'd put them up there, not quite on the belt, but just on that little bar before you hit the belt. And so the cashier was standing there, and some lady just come out of nowhere and jumped up in front of us and decided to start loading her stuff on the belt in front of us, as if Johnny wasn't standing there preparing to load stuff on the car on the belt to check out. Needless to say, I was really angry. Anytime I feel like someone takes advantage of us, or ignores the fact that he's slower and needs a little extra time to do certain things, I get angry. And this lady just come out of nowhere. I don't even know where the heck she came from. She just all of a sudden started loading her stuff in front of ours. And at this point, Johnny hadn't really unloaded that much, just the bottles of water. And I was like, because I knew I was fixing to blow it. I know, because I'm a very, I'm a very sweet person, but I'm also very passionate when it comes to my children. And passionate is also known as Mama Bear syndrome. I guess you could call it that. I don't know. But I felt anger rising up in me that I was fixing to embarrass myself. So I had Johnny put things back in the cart, and I said, we'll go to a different register. And I said, because I'm fixing to get ugly. And so we went to another register, which was right next to the one we were at. And I said, I don't know why people think that they're so much, that they're special. I said, it's not like they're, any more important than anyone else. I said, he goes slower because he's autistic. And I said it really loud. And I happened to look over at her, dead in her face when I said it. And she slumped her head down and didn't say a word. My point was made. And the girl that checked us out couldn't have been more patient and kind. She gave Johnny plenty of time to get things off the little swirly thing, the little turnstile bag thing, and collect and do things in his time. She didn't rush him. She was very sweet. But I made sure that rude blankety blank lady, if you can call her a lady, I made sure she knew what she did and to who she did it to. And that it was not appreciated at all. And then, of course, we get home, and I check the mail, and guess what? I've got another jury duty summons. Now, about a month ago, I had to send in a questionnaire because they had sent me another jury duty thing, and I sent the questionnaire in, and I'm like, I've already done this. If y'all know, some of y'all are new, but some of y'all might remember in February when I was sick with the kidney stone and infection, I was summoned down to do jury duty and spent the whole day walking around in the rain, in the cold and rain. And they moved us like 10 different times that day in the courthouse. Oh, go to this room. No, go to this room. No, go to this room. Up this stairs and down these stairs and up this elevator and go over here and go over there. And this and that and the other. So by the time they decided to finally load us into a jury box, I was beyond upset and annoyed. So I was properly obnoxious, and they didn't pick me. Let's put it that way. They didn't pick me for that jury. So what they ended up doing is making me have to call every day the rest of that week to see if I had to go back in. And so I did. And then here we are 6 months later, and they've done it again. They've summoned me to come back up there. And so today I get a letter saying I have to go in at noon on Monday. Well, Johnny's home visit for his program is Tuesday afternoon. So I called the lady with the program, and I said, I don't even know if they're going to pick me, but I'm supposed to be there at noon Monday. And she said, let's just leave the appointment as it is and see if they pick you or not. She said, if they pick you, then we'll go from there. That sounds very reasonable to me, so that's where we're going. Because me and Johnny did all that. I was just thinking to myself, we did all that daggum cleaning, and now we're going to have to postpone that daggum home visit. But I'm going to go in there and act just as obnoxious as I did last time. And if they asked if we have anything going that's going to keep us from being able to do it, I'm going to tell them I got that appointment on Tuesday. I got a mental health doctor appointment on Wednesday. I got things. And then I'm going to find the office where I can cancel my voter registration. So I looked it up on Google, and apparently you can indeed cancel your voter registration, which is how that they pull people for jury duty. I know I have a right to vote. I haven't voted in many years, and nor do I care. It's rigged anyway. They're going to put the corporations of the country is going to put whoever they want in office anyway. I'm not going to get political. I'm not a political kind of person. I don't go for that sort of thing. And I'm not going to talk about it anymore, but I'm going to go and unregister to vote so that they can't pull me for jury duty anymore. Because I did Google what the consequences were for not showing up. 3 days in jail and $1,000 fine. I don't have $1,000, and I'm not going to spend 3 days in jail. So, there you have it. But I will go in there and raise hell. forgive that word, but anyway, I'm going to go in there and let them know. I got prior engagements that come before that place, and I need to be let out of that crap. And I can show them about my doctor's appointment on Wednesday. I don't have anything paper-wise to show them about the home visit for Johnny. And when I talked to the lady today, she said that that she's not going to be going and inspecting my whole house. She's just going to come in and sit down and talk to John about stuff, about how he, his needs and what he hopes to get out of the program and things like that. So she's just going to sit in the living room. But I'm glad I cleaned the bathroom last night. I cleaned it real good in case she has to use it while she's here. At least I won't be embarrassed about that. Because, it's reasonably to assume that she might have to use the bathroom. I've had to go places and then use their restroom, so, she should be able to go somewhere that's comfortable and clean. And while this is an old house that needs a lot of sprucing up, it's at least clean now. It doesn't smell bad or nothing. Still needs painting and that sort of thing. The place needs painting. There's places in the bathroom especially where the paint on the walls peeling and that sort of thing. That'll get done eventually. But it's just not been a priority for me because I don't get a lot of company. And I'm okay with that. I'm not a person who needs to constantly entertain or have a lot of people over, So, I don't need a fancy house. I mean, it'd be nice if the sink worked in the bathroom. It would. It hasn't worked the whole time we've been here. It won't drain properly. It works-ish, Just one of those things. I told Will that John and I might downsize after he moves out. And he suggested I think about getting an apartment. Then I wouldn't have a yard to tend to. Then we could just walk Theo. For him to do his business, we could just walk him. It's not a terrible idea. Because if you live in an apartment complex, chances are they're doing the yard and you're not having to. I don't do the yard here either. My landlord comes and mows it and weed eats it and all that stuff. That's something he throws in with the rent, thank God. Because I'm allergic to all that stuff that floats in the air after you mow grass. I just run straight to a Benadryl if I get around it. Because my eyes will get all itchy and watery and puffy and I'll start sneezing and it gets quite a mess. But no, he takes care of that. He takes care of the yard for me. He just, what did I do there? Lord have mercy. Y'all. Oh, there's a little bit of fudging going on right there. Because it looks like I chained between something, but oh well. Nobody's perfect. Not supposed to chain in between those stitches. That's what we're working with. It's gonna be. I think that's really pretty. I love the way that party yarn blends in real nice with the pink, and then put the turquoise on top of that, and I just think they really blend well together. It the turquoise really it just kind of everything pops. It just it'll give that nice. She likes poppy color, color that's. She likes you to mix it up a little bit. I noticed she likes scrappy projects and projects that are different. Doesn't all have to be matchy, even though this will be somewhat matchy when I get done with it, because I like symmetry. Anything lopsided bothers me. Oh yeah. There's something actually positive that happened today. I got an email back from Premier after I emailed them a second time. Apparently the first email that I sent them did not go to I don't know if it didn't go through to the right email box, but I didn't get any response from the first email. So about my Premier order that I got Monday that was wrong, I got like the half of it was right and half of it was wrong with the Eversoft. I didn't order the Eversoft. I ordered the DK Colors Petite. And I got 2 of the 3 packs that I ordered, but not the other 2. So I took pictures. I laid it out and took pictures of what I got, and then I took a snapshot of the email showing my order, and I emailed them again last night. And then I got when you email certain companies, there's like an auto response thing. I got an auto response thing saying that they would respond to me within 2 days, and I was like, well, yeah, I don't remember getting that auto response when I emailed them the first time. So I'm thinking that my first email might have not went through, or it didn't go through to the right place. So, and then when I got up today, I had a couple of emails. One from them apologizing for the mistake and letting me know that they would be sending me out the correct product, and then another email with the tracking number for the correct product that's been now sent back out to me. And they said the 2-3 packs of the Eversoft, I could just donate them or do whatever I want to with them. So they'll probably be in a giveaway at some point. That Eversoft will probably be in a giveaway, or unless one of my besties wants it. But yeah, because I don't care for that particular yarn. I did give it a good chance. I tried it several times and didn't like it, so I re-gifted it. And because I had a bunch of it gifted to me, and then I tried it in several different projects, and I just didn't care for the way that it worked up. It just didn't feel good to me. I didn't care for it. It's just like that. Sometimes you come across yarn that you just don't like, and it was the same way. Because that Karen Simply Soft yarn, I felt the same way about it, and I bought quite a bit of it myself, and I ended up putting that in a mystery bag, I believe. And so, because I was thinking a lot of people, really swear by that Karen Simply Soft, and the Eversoft is pretty much almost the same exact product. And I thought for sure I'd love both of them, but I did not. I didn't care for it. So, but I did go to visit the yarn department at Walmart today. That one I go to, they don't have much of a yarn aisle. They have like a half aisle, like a half of a yarn aisle. Which is par for the course with most of the Walmarts in my area. They all are down to like half an aisle of yarn. Um, and so I ran across some Kobu, some Lion Brand Kobu yarn, which is cotton and bamboo blend. And now that I'm, into the 3 weights, the DK, now that I discovered I really like working with DK and 3 weight yarn, I was like, well, let me check this Kobu out. And so I picked some up and, felt it and checked the thickness of it. And I was like, I really like that. But the price point was just under $5 a little cake. And I was like, I really can't justify that price point right now. So I didn't buy any from Walmart. I came home and I looked on Lion Brand website, and they have it for about, I think it was $4.19 a little cake for 200 and something yards. I forget how many yardage it was, but for it being, like 49% bamboo, I didn't think that was really that bad a deal. What I had really wanted it for is, of course, a top, but I'd like to create a top that kind of looks like a beach sunset. So they had some colors that I felt like I could probably create a beach sunset with. So I'm thinking of ordering that. That might be my only yarn purchase for August, at least until later in the month. I don't know. I just had to wait to see how this month plays out. But that might be something I purchase this month. I don't know. I'm just going to wait and see what I got left after I pay bills tonight. And if it looks pretty good, then I'll go ahead and order it. Because of course Walmart didn't have very much of it, not enough for me to do a top with. They did very little of it, and of course it, I thought the price point could be beat. You know what I mean? I was like, well, let me see if I can look online and beat that price. Because you always want to try to, because you don't have coupons for yarn at Walmart. And they have some at Joann's, but right now it's on a doorbuster, so you can't get any further discounts on it right now. So that's the bad part about their extra 20 or 20% off for ordering to pick up in the store, is that it's not any good on doorbusters. So when I looked at the Kobu, it was considered a doorbuster right now, and I was like, bug, I hate that. Because it's when you want something, you just like, you don't want to pay full price for it. I won't be paying full price, because Lion Brand has it on sale for 30% off right now, so that's pretty decent. So I'm still not going to be paying full price. And when I looked at the Kobu, it looked very similar to that Lucky Brand bamboo yarn. The texture felt very similar to it. The look of it looked very similar. And of course, they're both 3 weights. And I really had, been looking at that Lucky Brand bamboo yarn. And I know that Crystal over at Bag O' Day had worked up a project in that yarn, and she had some good things to say about it. So, that Lucky Brand bamboo yarn is nice. I felt it, and it's really cool to the touch, and, didn't feel like it would be too slippery. Some of that bamboo yarn is too super slippery. Like that True Boo, the True Boo yarn, that Lion Brand True Boo that's 100% bamboo, that stuff's slippery. Last time I tried to use it, I couldn't use it because it was just too slippery. But of course, that's before I had this recovery of my joints from the weight loss. So I don't know if I'll try that again or not. But I'm definitely going to try the Kobu and try to create a beach sunset top is what I really want to try to create in a particular stitch. I think it would be really pretty. Because if y'all know anything about me, y'all know I love the beach. Even though I don't live anywhere near one. I love beach themed things. I do, I do. I'd probably live near one if I could. I do love it. The sound of the water, the feel of the sand on your toes, the peacefulness of listening to the waves come in. It's just so relaxing. It's very relaxing. Even just going to a lake is relaxing, though. It doesn't have to be the ocean. It could be just a regular lake, and it's very relaxing. Just being by water in general is very relaxing to me. I've even went to the Red River boat launch sometimes and just sat there looking at the water and just relaxed a little bit. Not quite the same as going to a regular lake and everything, but it works in a pinch. Maybe I'll go do that tomorrow and just go sit at the boat launch and have a snack and just sit there and look at the river flowing. Or I guess Johnny and I could go to the boardwalk and go, walk by the boardwalk and look at it. You can see the river there too. It's a big red river. I think it goes to the Mississippi, if I'm not mistaken. But I remember being a little kid and we used to, there's lots of sandbars in the Red River. And when we were kids, a bunch of my mom and a family called the DuPonts used to get together and they'd go hang out on the sandbars. And then I think I was maybe 8 years old. I almost drowned in the Red River, but because we would get in the shallow water, and we would sink our fingers into the water, and then we'd let go, float a little bit, and then sink our fingers back in. And one time I forgot to put my fingers back in the water, and I just kept floating. And then I realized that the current was taking me, and I started screaming. And my mom couldn't swim, and so I was only 8. And she's screaming for help, and then someone that we referred to as Uncle Butch jumped in because he was a really good swimmer, and he jumped in and got me. So I'm here today because of Uncle Butch. God bless him, because he jumped in there and plucked me right out of the river. So God bless his soul. But the DuPonts owned a fish market in Shreveport. I don't know if they still do or not. But, yeah, they owned a fish market. They used to have hog roast and all kinds of stuff that my family went to. Because my sister's dad knew a lot of people. He wasn't a good person. He liked to beat people. But he found Jesus in his old age, from what I understand, and tried to become a better person. But my mother married him when I was about 6 months old. And then they had my sister when I was not quite 2. But he'd get drunk and beat my mama up. He beat on me a couple of times, but not as much as my mom. Let's see where we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I got one more round of this. I was just trying to make sure that I keep it even. I like to keep things even. Symmetrical, if you will. It might look like it has no rhyme or reason, this thing so far, but trust me, there's a plan right here. But I've been yakking at y'all for almost 40 minutes. I hope y'all have a wonderful evening. Thank you for hanging in with me and listening to me talk about this and that. I appreciate y'all watching. I thank each and every one of y'all for doing that and hitting the thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, subscriptions are free. So please subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying what you're watching. I appreciate that so much. My channel is growing just a little bit at a time, which is really cool. I'd like to get up to 5K at some point. 10K would get me 10K would get me some what are they, affiliate links. That's what that would get me. 10K would get me affiliate links. So maybe I should shoot for 10K, since I would get affiliate links at 10K. But after 3 years, you would think I'd be at 10K, but no, I'm not. But that's okay, because I appeal to a smaller audience than some other people, which is fine. I think we have a really good thing going here, more intimate, more family friendly, and I feel like I'm talking to my friends and my family when I get on here. So I'm not out to just make a lot of money on YouTube. It's more about spending time with people I care about, and that's what's important, right? But y'all have a good evening. Please remember that I love you and so does Jesus. And please remember to adopt, don't shop. Your best friend's waiting for you at the shelter or the rescue. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye now.